Welcome to Unit 2, Activity 1. Here we are going to talk about inferring and summarizing. So the first thing that you are going to do is you are going to have a look at this photo that's given to you, and you are going to join a discussion and answer the following questions using inferences. So what do you think is going on in here? So I think that, and explain what you think is going on in the picture. One reason I think so is, so explain why you think that, and then a second reason I think so is. So it should be about 3 to 4 sentences overall for your discussion post, and then you're going to click here to join the discussion. And when you're using inferences, again, it's just what you're thinking, so there is no necessarily right or wrong answer to that question regarding this photo here of the dog looking out the window. So then it talks about you're making an educated guess on what you think is happening, and that is what inferring means. So when you're thinking about inferring and reading, it's really important for basically everything that you read to have some inferences. So you're going to look at the text and see the details from the text, and then you're going to put your prior knowledge of what you think you know or what you already know into that, which would then lead to inferences. So if you look at the picture above of the dog, what do you know about the dog? What dogs in general? So what are you inferring, even though it's not written there? You're just looking at it. So please read the following sentence and try to infer what happened. So again, we'll give you an example. When Sonia noticed what time it was, Sonia jumped out of bed and raced to the bathroom. So what do you think? So what time it is? Obviously, she's looking at the clock. She's in bed. Jumped out of bed. So again, it shows that she was in bed. Raced to the bathroom. From this evidence, we can tell she's in a hurry. So when we combine that evidence from the text with our prior knowledge, we can infer that she's in a rush because maybe she overslept and maybe she's running late for something. So what is she late for? Who knows? We can make inferences using on the information we have available. So again, here's another example. So you're going to examine the following passage and think about what inferences you can make about the text. So the text is, they approach the booth at 7:45 p.m., leaving them 15 minutes until the start. Jordan smiles and slips 20 to the vendor in the booth. The vendor slides them 2 tickets and $5 and asks if they need glasses. Alex, Jordan's partner, grins and nods. Jordan then goes off to find seats while Alex goes to get snacks. So in your notebook, so just for your own notes, using evidence from the text, what inferences can you make? So in your notebook, jot down the inferences that you can make. So Jordan slips 20 to the vendor in the booth. What do you think that means? Well, you can look at the suggested answer. Obviously, Jordan's paying for something. The couple could be at a drive-through, a ticket booth, a parking lot. What do you think? Alex, Jordan's partner, grins and nods. All right, what do you think about that? And again, Alex is nodding to indicate that they will need glasses. So what do you think those glasses are for? Are they getting snacks? So they find seats, so it's not likely a booked event like a theater show, concert, or opera. You might get snacks at a game, concert, movie, or fair. So it could be one of those events. That's what you're inferring. So there's difference between inferring and summarizing. So you've learned when you infer, you consider the information you have and you try to fill in what is not explicitly stated by the author. So you're filling in the blanks. Whereas summarizing, you take all the facts and information that are provided and narrow them down to just the important points. All right, so if you look at inferring and summarizing, what is the difference and what is some of the similarities? So again, You're sort of filling in the blanks with inferences, and with a summary, you're using the facts. All right. So again, if you look at the passage we just read about Jordan and Alex, explore the following tabs to analyze the different elements of the passage. So here's the passage. What facts do we know? So the who, what, where, when, why, and how. And a summary could look simply like this. An inference could look simply like this. All right, so make sure you're reading it thoroughly. So here we can give you an example from a textbook. All right, so if you click here, it will give you an example from a textbook. You're going to read the first 2 paragraphs and then see what you can answer here. So what, why, where, who, when, and how. And again, you can have some suggested answers, but make sure you're going through this thoroughly. And here you can see the summary of what you would have read. So again, you can practice this in your notebooks for your own notes. So answer the following using only the second subheading on that textbook and do the same thing over again. All right, now we're going to look at a news article. So a news article has some features that are similar to those found in a story and other features that are similar to those found on a textbook page. Can you think of what they are? All right, so you can write down some of your answers. And then you're going to look at this newspaper article. So Inuk artist receives Governor General's Award in Visual and Media Arts. So go through and read the newspaper article. You can look at the picture, you can see what you can infer. And then in your notebook, answer the what, who, when, why, where, and how. All right, and you can use the examples from what I just showed you above to help you answer. Now, here is what you are going to be submitting for marks. So based on the news article that we just read, I want you to write a summary using your short answers to each of the questions you attempted in the previous notebook activity. So who, what, when, why, where, and how. I want you to make sure that you're looking at your spelling and grammar and word choice and using your own words. You're not just copying what is written exactly here in the article. And again, for summaries, you can look up here and see what some of the summaries are. It shouldn't be super long what you're submitting to me, but you should be making sure you're answering each one of these questions. And then you're going to submit it here. All right. Then you can do a short journal activity. And remember that I'm going to be looking at your journals and your portfolio items later on in the course. So if you need some feedback, make sure you're reaching out to me and asking questions, and I'm more than happy to set up any sort of Google Meets that work with your time schedule and my time schedule if the ones I'm posting don't work for you and your class schedule.